Awesome. We're blessed at TCS, so many faculty who have inspired us in terms of our creativity. And one of the canons of Trinity College School, of course, is Tom the Bomb Lawson. And Tom, class of 47, and how many people here did Tom teach? Just show of hands. So he has taught thousands of people, and I don't know about you. Yeah, show of hands again. Show of hands. But Tom is one of the many teachers who is a creative muse, isn't he? He was certainly one of my creative muses, and he was so passionate about active verbs. Active verbs, Magwood. Or take that highlighter and make it come alive on the page. He just instilled such amazing energy around creativity and imagination. So he is going to join us. He's going to give us a little treat of one of his famous renditions, a Robert Service poem. He's been doing this for over 60 years. Please give a warm welcome to Tom the Bomb Lawson.
Happily without it.
You don't need a mic. You don't need a mic.
I don't need a mic. Good. I don't like mics. Okay. Well, is there anybody here tonight who is going to do a Robert Service? Because I don't want to compete, but he's about my favorite. He's Bernie Hodgett's favorite poet, and I'll tell the beginning of Bernie's favorite poem. Now, let me see if I can get this right. One of the down and out, that's me. Stare at me, stare and shrink. You wouldn't think I was a millionaire. Look at my face, it's crimped and gouged. One of them death mask things. Don't look like the kind of a guy, do I? As might be the Pala Kings. Slouching along in smelly rags. A bleary-eyed, no-good bum. Night of the Hollow Needle part. Spewed from the sodden slum. Look me all over from head to foot. How much would you say I was worth? $1? A dime? A nickel? Well, I'm the wealthiest man on earth. I don't think I'm going to tell you how I became the wealthiest man on earth, because it would take too long and you wouldn't sleep well tonight. So I'm going to give you a choice. How many of you, of these three, Sam McGee, Dan McGrew, and Blasphemous Bill, make up your mind, how many of you would prefer that I do Sam? How many would prefer that I do Dan? How many would prefer that I do Blasphemous Bill? Well, there's only 3 hands so far in the whole room. All right, again. How many of you want Sam? Sam. Now, don't bully anybody. I want to see those hands. Just a second, Sam, where are they, the Sams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Stop counting.
All right, how many want Dan McGrew?
Dan McGrew.
Not enough. Not enough. And how many want Blasphemous Bill? Hey, wait a minute. 3, 4, 5. You know, I think Blasphemous Bill won this.
300.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, I'm going to get, since you're not familiar with it, how many don't know it? All right. Now, I was doing this 60 years ago, and the ideal place is around a campfire. This isn't the right place for this, but it's
Where we're at.
Murphy, get a fire going.
There you go.
all right.
You know I will.
I took out a contract to bury the body of Blasphemous Bill Mackay. Wherever, whenever, and whatsoever the manner of death he died. Whether he died by the light of day, or under the peak-faced moon, the cabin, or the dance hall, the camp, Moccasin, by Velvet Tundra, or Virgin Peak, by glacier, drift, or draw, by Muskeg Hollow or Canyon Gloom, by avalanche, fang, or claw, by battle, murder, or sudden wealth, by pestilence, hoot, or leg. He swore in the book I would follow and look till I found my tuneless dead. For Bill was a dainty kind of cuss, and his mind was mighty sot on a dinky patch with flowers and grass in a civilized boneyard lot. And where he died and how he died, it didn't matter a damn, so long as he had a grave with frills and a tombstone epigram. So I promised him, and he paid the price in good Chichaco coin, which saved up loan that very same night down in the Tenderloin. And I took out a 3-foot slab of pine. Here lies poor Bill Mackay. And I hung it up on my cabin wall, and I waited for Bill to die. Well, years passed away, till at last one day came a squaw with a story, strange, of a long deserted line of huts way back in the Bighorn Range, a little cabin built by itself into the side of a hill, and a white man lying there by his lonesome self. I figured that must be Bill. Well, I think of the contract I made with him, and I took down from the shelf the dinky box with the silver plate as he's picked out for himself, and I filled it full of hooch and lead, and I slung it on my sleigh, and I harnessed up my team of dogs and was off at dawn of day. Well, you know what it's like in the Arctic wild when it's 69 below, and the ice worms wriggle their heads through the crust of the pale blue snow. The stovepipe smoke breaks sudden off. The sky is weirdly lit. Careless feel of a bit of steel burns like a red-hot spit. And the mercury's a frozen ball, and the frost fiend stalks to kill. Well, it was just like that day that I set off to look for Bill. Oh, the awful hush as it seemed to crush me round on every hand as I blundered blind with the trail to find through that blank and bitter land, half dazed, half crazed through the winter wild, with its grim, heartbreaking woes, and the ruthless strife for a grip on life that only the sourdough knows. North. Ever north. North, that's it. Aye, north through a land accursed, shunned by the scouring brutes. And all I heard was my own harsh word and the whine of the Malamutes. Till at last I came to that cabin squat, built in the side of a hill, and I burst in the door, and there on the floor, frozen to death, lay Bill. Ice, white ice, like a winding sheet, sheathed in each smoke-grimed wall. Ice in the windows, ice in the doors, ice gleaming over all. Sparkling ice in the dead man's chest, glittering ice in his hair, ice in his fingers, ice in his hands, ice in his glassy stare. Hard as the log and trussed like a frog, with his arms and legs outspread. Well, I looked at the coffin I'd brought for him, and I looked at the grizzly dead, and I said, Bill liked his jokes, but still, God blast his eyes, a Feller ought to think of his mates the way he goes and dies. Well, I ain't one of the quitting sort, but I never felt so blue as I stood there studying that stiff and figuring what I'd do. Then I took out a bunch of wood as was lying around about, and I lit up the boiler fire and I started to thaw Bill out. Well, I thawed and I thawed for 13 hours. Didn't do no good. His arms and legs stuck out like pegs as if they was made of wood. Till last I said, it ain't no good. He's froze too hard to thaw. He's obstinate, and he won't lie straight. So I guess I got a saw. So I sawed off poor Bill's arms and legs, and I laid him snug and straight in the little coffin I built for him with a dinky silver plate. And I came nigh near to shedding a tear as I gently laid him down. And I harnessed him up to my team of dogs, and I hauled him off to town. Well, we buried Bill, as the contract was, in a narrow grave and deep. And there he's waiting the great clean-up with the judgment's loose-head sweep. And as I sit and I meditate in the light of the noonday sun, I often wonder if they was them awful things I done. And as I sit and the parson talks, expounding of the law, I often think of poor old Bill and how hard he was to saw.
Tom Lawson. Thank you, Tom. What a treat. What a treat. Such passion for language and for rhythm. That was tremendous. Thank you. That was a real
When you
real
got
gift.
Robert Service, you can't go wrong.
Jeez. You just let him breathe through you.
Yes.
That's what you did so beautifully.